So one question I often get asked about the animation industry is, should animators, in particular recent graduates and students, should they work for free? And this question comes up a lot, and it's a tricky one to answer because the answer to the question is, well, sometimes. But you have to be smart and you have to know when it's worth your while working for free. In general, however, I'm broadly speaking in favor of working for free if it's the right thing to do. The trick is making sure whether it's the right thing to do for you at that moment in time. Now, I can speak from some personal experience on this because my first animation job in the industry on Who Framed Roger Rabbit was working for free. So I started off and I had an inside track to that production, and I offered to work for free as an in-betweener. And then after I'd been doing that job for a couple of weeks and I was producing work and was capable and competent, then I went back to them and said, well, would you mind paying me something for what I'm doing? And they said yes. But the trick was to get in there in the beginning and offer my services for free. Now, it often comes up when we're talking about internships because best practice in the industry is to offer paid internships, and many companies like Jellyfish and Blue Zoo do offer paid internships. But it's important to remember that those internships are very rare, well, quite rare. They're very well publicized and they're very, very hard to get. Much more common is the kind of informal internship where you might email someone, say, hey, can I come in, hang out for a week? And if you ask to be paid for that, then suddenly that's really looking like a job and it's much less attractive for the company. So in those circumstances, I would advise, if you can afford to, and that's obviously a crucial consideration, if you can afford to, then yes, it's worth doing that to get experience, because it helps you get credits on your CV and it helps you get experience of working in the industry. It's also possible to do free jobs as a freelancer. You can help people out. For example, for me, I've done quite a bit of free work for charities over the years. I've done some work for the Royal Parks Foundation in London, designing deck chairs for them, stuff like that. Fun work. And it was worth it for me, and it was fun at the time. Design them a logo, that kind of thing. Think about it as, doing a bit for the community, doing a bit for charity. Is nothing wrong with that. And if you're getting something out of it too, the chance to maybe develop your skills, then that's a good thing for you. Where I think working for free becomes more tricky is where, maybe somebody wants free animators for a project. Maybe they're advertising online, somebody that you don't know becomes somebody you can't trust because you've got no track record with them, and that's much more problematic. And we get this all the time at Animation Apprentice and Escape Studios, where people say, hey, I've got this great idea for a film, it's going to be brilliant, I just need some free labor. And I would be much more skeptical of that because you just don't know these people, and there's an awful lot of people out there who want a free lunch. So in that case, I would probably say no, unless you know the person, you know that they've got a track record and you can rely on them. So the answer to the question, should you work for free in the animation industry, is not an easy one to answer, because the accurate answer is sometimes, when it's the right thing to do and when it suits you. But one shouldn't take an ideological point of view. Some people feel, well, you should never work for free because it's immoral for the company to ask you to work for free and this and that. And I would say, try to avoid letting ideology creep into it. Just consider what's in your best interest. Do you need experience in the industry? For most undergraduates or people studying on animation courses, you need experience. And experience will teach you a lot about how the industry works. And it will show, if you have companies on your CV that you've worked for, it shows prospective employers that you can do a day's work. And it also gives contact details, referees, people who will vouch for you. So it can be very, very useful. Certainly for me, it was crucial in the beginning in getting into the industry. And looking back on it, if I hadn't done it, I probably wouldn't have broken in. Or maybe I would have done, but it would have taken longer and and I'd have had to do it later. So I would say, if you can, if it's right for you, if the circumstances are right, then yes, it can be worth it to work for free.